Hey guys, it's about 21 degrees out there tonight, and I want to tell the story of JoeNathan. And that's not spelled wrong. JoeNathan was a guy, I'm going to turn this around so you can see me. JoeNathan was a guy that we picked up early on in the Russ Bus adventure, and picked Joe up at the city park bathroom in Russellville. It was cold and it was winter. Joe had been living in the bathroom there, and I think he hadn't had a bath in a little over 8 weeks. Was in the same pair of clothes he's had for 8 weeks. He had literally, his socks had rotted off and he had no socks, and we were not really used to doing anything at that point in time, so it was a real learning curve for us. So we got Joe in a tent, got him some new underwear, got him some new socks, just got him a safe place to stay. And we were real new at that time, but Joe was a pretty cool guy. I really liked him a lot, and Joe worked trying to get him a job, and finally we got some friends, Richard and Alicia, gave him a shot, and he started detailing cars for Richard and Alicia, and started working. And every morning I would go pick Joe up at the campsite. Back then there wasn't no heaters or anything like that. It was just, Joe in a tent and some blankets. And so Joe would go to bed, he would just have to stay as warm as he could in blankets and sleeping bags. And I'd pick him up about 7-something in the morning. I'd have him some milk and a honey bun for breakfast, because when you get somebody a job during the day, they don't have the ability to go to the Main Street Mission. You take their free meal away. So we'd buy breakfast, and we'd buy him a sandwich and chips and a drink for lunch, and a Snickers bar for a snack, and then take him to work. And he would get off work and he would go hang out at a local tobacco town, and then about 10 o'clock or so I'd try to come pick him up, or he'd walk back to his camp and go back to sleep and do it again. Joe did this, was faithful to go to work and everything. And I remember the first day Joe was going to get paid, I handed him his lunch and said, now it's your responsibility, because that's part of what we do. We allow people to be responsible for their own for getting themselves out of the hole they're in. And so, at that point in time, Joe was making money, and so it was his responsibility to start taking care of his own food. And so Joe graduated out of that tent and got into an apartment, and he was one of our early on success stories of just being able to take Joe from the bathroom to the tent to the job to an apartment. Joe's no longer with us. He is alive, but he's no longer with the Russ Bus in Russellville, or he's not around here. He is, I think last I checked, Joe called and checked in on us, and he was in Illinois with his parents. So we're really, like I say, always loved the story of Joe. Joe was amazing, of just how he would get up and go to work every day in those horrific conditions. Always amazed me. Never griped. Never ever griped about it being cold. A lot tougher than I am, I'll say that. So like I say, it's guys like JoeNathan that while we do it, he's one of the success stories, and we're just thankful for him. Alright, so when you go to bed tonight, just know that there's maybe not JoeNathan, but there's a lot of guys just like him that represent the homeless population across the United States, and just pray for guys like him that are sleeping out in the elements.